Your life is a movie, and you are the main character, the star. And even though it may seem like you didn't choose the movie that you're starring in, you do create your experience of this movie each and every moment. And in that sense, you are creating the movie that you're starring in. Not only that, but you're the director and the producer. You're the script writer. You're the costume designer. You're the set designer. You create all the cast, everyone who's in the film and responsible for creating the film. In fact, the entire thing, every aspect of it, every level of it, every single piece of this is your doing. And if you can get behind this idea in terms of accepting it, embracing it, and taking ownership over it, then you actually reclaim consciously the power to create the movie of your life to be whatever you actually desire it to be. Because you didn't just fall into this life. There seems to be certain kind of parameters and variables that were out of our control. And that may or may not be the case, but how you interact with them, what you do with them, how you relate to them, how you make decisions within them, that's entirely up to you. And that's shaping each and every moment of your life, unfolding each and every day. And that is creating your reality. And that, how you respond, how you relate, how you decide, how you act, and what you choose, that's up to you. And that is what makes you the creator. Now, if you were to step out, zoom out, and look at this movie that's unfolding and kind of assess it and say, well, if I were to become the conscious director and script writer and costume designer and theme category maker of the film, what would I choose the film of my life to be today? Is it going to be a romantic comedy? Is it going to be a mystery? Is it going to be adventure? Is it going to be like a James Bond film? Is it going to be fill in the blank with whatever kind of experience you wish to have? And then once you set that intention, who must you be that day, that moment, to fulfill the role of that film, of that character? And this is actually a really fun way to tune into different realities, different versions of yourself, because aligning with the version of yourself that is in a different timeline, a different film, and a different reality becomes very easy in your imagination when you allow yourself to play with the parameters of this experience. Imagining the setting, where you would be, and allowing yourself to play in that reality in your mind, imagining the different people, the different places, the different things that you're doing, the different things that you're wearing, the different environment that you're in, the different choices that you're making, the different job that you have or things that you're creating. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're more a romantic lover. Maybe you're a business person. Maybe you're a gambler. Maybe you're fill in the blank with something fun, something playful, something alive and vibrant. This is literally just like a sandbox that you're playing within. And it seems as though you have this sort of personality which is rigid, but actually you're choosing for this personality each and every moment. It may not be conscious, but it can be. And so what if you were to choose a different thought? What if you were to choose to feel a different feeling? What if you were to choose a different belief? And despite what you may think, it really is as simple as just choosing a different belief. Because every belief that you have has a counterpart. That's the nature of this world, this reality, is that it's dual. And everything has its opposite, its polarity. And you're only familiar with this reality and this version of you because you keep choosing over and over again, either consciously or unconsciously, to embody it, to create it, to assume it to be true, to be what you are and experience. And that becomes your life. What if you were to just practice choosing something else? What if you were to playfully decide to create a different scene, a different perception, a different identity, a different momentary experience of this circumstance? What if you were to just assume through your imagination that this is not necessarily what it appears to be or what you've been saying it is, but actually it is what you want it to be, exactly what you want it to be? And if you even just start there and you just say to yourself, this is exactly what I want it to be, even if you don't know what that is, but you just assume that it is exactly what you want it to be. And you feel into the feeling of gratitude and loving appreciation and joy for this moment being exactly what you want it to be. And you give yourself permission to really go there and feel like, this is it. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I've been longing for. You start to notice that the whole reality starts to take on a totally different mood, a totally different look, a totally different feel. And things start to become attracted to you. Different ideas come to you. Different desires start to become prominent in your field of awareness. Different choices become prevalent in your scope of possibilities. And now, rather than feeling like you're limited and closed into a reality that you didn't feel like you were choosing for, now it starts to feel like, oh, I'm loosening up. This is actually feeling more and more like a game, more and more like a movie, where I can just choose what I want to watch, what I want to create, what I want to experience, what I want to be. And it really is as simple as remembering that you are the creator of your life, the director of the movie, the master of your reality, and you get to choose what character you're going to play, how you're going to show up, what you're going to think, how you're going to feel. And if you practice this over and over again, you start to take different actions. You start to see different opportunities. You start to receive different things in your day-to-day experience. And what you'll then start to notice is that other people start to see you as that character that you're assuming to embody. This is where it becomes very playful, is you see how free you actually are to play the role of whatever character you want to play. And it is as simple and as fun and as easy as it is like it was when you were a child, where you just choose in your imagination a lightheartedness, a playfulness, a loving joy of being and becoming. And through that posture towards life, through that presence towards your day-to-day experience, things become very malleable and your life takes on a completely different shape. And that's when the frequency of your true self starts to emerge, because you are a shapeshifter. You in your true form are formless. And your true identity is nothing more than I am. And I am is the totality of all the personalities, all the identities, all the possibilities that you can experience in this life. So what happens when you identify, first and foremost and above all else, I am, your true identity? And in the possibility, the sheer potentiality of I am, you start to play with reality. You start to mess around with this perception of this moment. And you start to feel into different experiences. And the more you do this, the more you master this ability, this capacity, this magical thing that you have within your consciousness, which is, by your imagination alone, you get to project through your perceptions, through your presence, a completely different possibility as the film of your life. So who are you going to be today? And what is that alter ego? And it is fun to come up with an alter ego. What is the name of this version of you today? What are the qualities? What's the characteristics of your personality? What are you going to do that's different? What clothing are you going to wear that you haven't worn in different ways? How are you going to interact with people? How are you going to stay malleable? How are you going to stay flexible and fresh in your perspective? How is this day going to unfold if it was totally up to you? What is the best case scenario? And if it were all easy and fun and playful, what would it look like? That is all up to you. That is the truth of who and what you are and what's possible to you as the creator of your reality. So go on and make today the best film you've ever seen.